BlackMatter, Rising from the Ashes, and What You Should Know.
Hey Bindu, I hear you have a new story about the BlackMatter ransomware gang.
Well, yes, I have to say, Manish, we have been sort of hearing the chatter. That this is an emerging threat group that is advertising on all of the criminal forums. A catchy ad, right? They're recruiting Windows and Linux pen testers to gain initial access into target networks. Pretty specific of the target network as well. They would like, to target organizations that have corporate networks in the US, Canada, Australia, and UK. And they would like, organizations with revenues over $100 million. Again, the reason we're bringing this, to these forums is, there's a lot of misconception that, sort of the bad actors have gone away since the Colonial pipeline. Everything has, sort of been shut out. And what we are seeing is they're again, once again, crisis fuel cybercrime. Once again, they're planning. They have a TAR website that is similar to the previous DarkSide site. They're sharing similar targeting rules as Revel. So they're not going to go after healthcare, nonprofits, and critical infrastructure. The ransomware binary file shares are similar functions like the DarkSide. What the ransomware will do is reboot the system into safe mode to bypass all of the antivirus and EDR as necessary. So this has sort of come to the forefront, sort of starting about the second week of July, where they're calling themselves with the alias BlackMatter. They've actually registered an account on two of the hacker forums. Both one of which is exploit, right? So they actually deposited 4 Bitcoin currencies into an escrow account. They're a threat actor that is really actively recruiting. So we need, for us, in the sort of the good side of the fight, we do need to be aware that, when you're getting asked about security budgets and, what are we going after, think about this, from a security planning perspective. Even the malicious actor has a solidified plan, right? So they're really going after all of the previous outfits and looking at the plus and minus and evolving their toolkit. We talk a lot about ransomware as a service, and this is again one of those groups that's really actively looking to go after actors to be able to get initial access into large organizations' networks, and then execute based on some of the where they've been successful in the past and learn lessons from that, and then use that same style and functionality of for example, now a defunct site like the DarkSide.
Right, and it's as one ransomware gang gets a lot of attention from pretty much all law enforcement throughout the world, they may end up going away and kind of regrouping shortly thereafter as a different organization. However, a lot of their tactics and techniques remain the same. So a lot of times you can kind of correlate that with previous attacks and kind of assume that it's a similar similar individuals running that new gang as well. And part of that is obviously they do that to take away some of the attention that they previously had gotten. However, that doesn't change anything in their tactics, and it also doesn't change anything in how seemingly professional they are, which you mentioned, like as an organization you need to have a plan to make sure you can defend against these types of attacks. However, they also have a plan, right? And they're very professional, right? I know some of them, they even have customer support, right? If you're an organization and you're having trouble, you can call their customer support. It's it's amazing to me as to how professional these organizations have become. Almost running like a business.
And the thing is, the reason, I know that, we talk on this forum a lot about, specific malware. And the reason I brought this story back is, we have heard stories about how DarkSide and Rebel have withdrawn from the threat landscape. There is speculation that, the members of this group are no longer, participating. But if you look at, BlackMatter, it really looks like members from these older organizations are sort of coming together. All of the previous experience and proven capabilities that they have, it's sort of going to make them sort of a formidable threat, I think, in the near term. So it's really important for us to not sort of take a break from being sort of aware of these threats and being able to know about ransomware as a service. And this is something that you as an organization really have to invest cybersecurity investments to be able to really defend against some of this, because once you're hit with it, it's a lot harder for you to sort of take that reactive actions. It's easier for you to do the proactive functions. So I really just wanted to bring about the fact that this is again, sort of bubbling up, and very specific information available in terms of how they're looking at the previous actors and executing scheduled tasks, adding the PowerShell script, really improving on the previous malicious actors, malware, and getting sort of ready for sort of the next hit.
Right. And I think one of the issues that complicates the defense of these types of actors targeting you, there's so many vulnerabilities in these appliances that are, every single day it seems like there's a new critical vulnerability that comes out, whether it's in your VPN appliances or your load balancers or whatever the case may be. There's so many vulnerabilities that are reported, and it seems like these actors are very quick to turn around the exploits, so far faster than most organizations are able to patch.
Yeah, I feel like, these are all sort of the stories that we can take back and talk about how cyber risk and overall security investment has to be constant, right? Because the threat actor is constantly evolving. And if we are just going to go after legacy defenses that we've always had and really not, looking to improve upon those, then, you're almost not even fighting the fight anymore. Right?
All right. At least take multiple
Yeah.
backups.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to add on to the best practices, like Manish and you alluded to, like having obviously good backups, verified backups are the key. And also, I think I would like to add having the good inventory of all the assets. Manish is saying there are lots of. Yeah, if you don't have the good list of the inventory, it's hard to basically go and pivot and try to fix it, right? And thanks for actually bringing this story.
Yeah, thanks, Bindu. This is interesting.